Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to SCAN. My name is Tracey Wolfman, your host, current board president of SCAN, owner of We Care Adult Care. I am delighted to be here this afternoon and have the entire hands-on staff of SCAN to present to you what they've all been doing during this last year during the pandemic. So they made the success of pivoting SCAN and keeping us going full speed ahead and probably double duty during this time. Our first person that I would like to introduce is Andrea Tarr, who is the program director, master trainer, and a graphic artist, among many of her talents. So welcome, Andrea Tarr, and let's hear all the great things you've been doing.
Okay, hi Tracey. Yep, as you said, I am all of that. And I've been with SCAN for in September. I want to say September. It'll be 20 years, and that's a long time. And I did not see that coming because I actually came to SCAN almost accidentally. No, very accidentally. I happened to walk in, and the Pat Bohse at that time was the executive director, and she was looking for more people to teach technology classes. Even back then, they were looking for it, and I said, yeah, I can do that, and that just sort of put me on the trajectory, and here I am now.
20 years later, and we hope to be blessed with you for 20 more, Andrea.
Oh, we'll see about that, 20 more.
Our next person that I would like to have the great opportunity to introduce is Mary Kwapanewski, and she's our program director, in-person and virtual, Salesforce and website master. So welcome, Mary Beth.
Hi, Tracey. How are you?
I'm good.
So I have been with SCAN going on my 5th year, and I came to SCAN by taking my certification for nonprofit management at Brookdale Community College. And the very first class that I took was Pat Bohse, our executive director's financial planning or introduction to nonprofit management. And the rest is history. I actually was a volunteer, trying to think the terminology that Pat always used for me, a senior intern.
Senior intern.
And then I became a full-time employee, and I've been having a blast ever since. And this past year, although it's been challenging, has been wonderful. We, again, pivoted to online programming, and it's been a huge success, and it's been wonderful. And I love working with the senior community.
That's wonderful. And you and Andrea will now be called the dynamic duo for the rest of your time.
Thanks for that title.
And then we need, of course, the person who is the business administrator, bookkeeper, grant manager. I would like to introduce Yvonne Emily, who we need her services more than anything.
I also came to SCAN by accident. My ex-boss from Fort Monmouth was volunteering at SCAN, and she asked me to volunteer one day for the Senior Expo. And while I was there, I put my name in a basket and I won. And when I came to pick it up, Pat convinced me it would be a good idea to volunteer at SCAN. So I took her up on that offer, and I volunteered for a few months. And then we were hit with Sandy, and we got a grant. And she said, I can pay you to work, but you'll have to work a few more hours, but it'll only be for 6 months. And I've been there for almost 9 in December.
9 years.
I really enjoy working with everybody. We have a great group. I love working with the seniors. I think we give a lot to the seniors and to the community. And I'll be sad to see Pat go. She's really grown SCAN in the years that I've been there. So, and I do all the grants and the bookkeeping and just keep the office running and do whatever is needed, like we all do.
And a good job you've done, Yvonne. Thank you. We have also another staff member, Helen Karan, who is our BEC coordinator, who could not be on the call today.
No, she's not.
So hopefully, if you are watching Welcome to Scan, you will get to meet her at some point if you visit her or need her services. So the next thing after introducing all of our staff, our Executive Director, Pat Bohse, I'm going to introduce her and let her tell us about her journey. Everyone seems to have gotten to Scan by mistake, and what a blessing that's been for Scan. And Pat, with the exception of Andrea, reeled you all in, including herself, and now she's going to depart us, right? But
Yes.
she's never going to be gone for long. We already have told her that. So welcome, Pat, and tell everyone about your journey with Scan.
So thank you. And it's been a pleasure to work with you and everybody else who's on this wonderful call. I have been the executive director since 2012. That was never the intent because I have my own management consulting business and I specialize in the field of aging. And during 2012, we were giving away free organization makeovers. And so I had spoken to John Wannett because he returned as the acting executive director. And I said, so can we help you? And he said, yes. And so we worked with the board of directors and John and kind of did a mini strategic plan to see where the organization was going. And it wasn't really in very good condition at that point in time. And so John had to leave for health reasons. I was asked by the board to stay on and help as a consultant until they were able to find somebody else, which I did. And then one thing led to another in regards to being hired as a part-time executive director. And I've been there for 10 years. I have to tell you, I've gotten to practice what I preach, being at Scan. I probably am a much better consultant because of the last 10 years that I had to kind of make it work. But again, with all of these great staff, it made life much easier. Some of the things that we had looked at were board development. And so Tracey, this kind of is right up your alley. I think initially we had very few board members, and if we did, they really weren't so committed to Scan and our mission. We have been able to transform the board for the last 10 years. I believe we have 14 members now, a variety of skill sets that help us do the business that we're in. And we have been diversifying our board in regards to ethnic backgrounds and experiences and skills. And it's just really a win-win. We have completed our final strategic plan, and we're kind of working off that. Everyone has their marching orders, so to speak, in regards to what needs to get accomplished in the next 1 to 3 years. I think the other big thing that happened at Scan is that no one had credentials to deliver any of the programs that we wanted to do. And again, when we talk about evidence-based programming, you think you can just kind of read a manual and you can do it, but that's not how Stanford wants us to do things. And so Andrea Tarr absolutely stood up and said, I can become the master trainer, because we needed someone to be able to train all of our other peer leaders. I believe right now we have about 6, and they do take control of your health and diabetes self-management. So we became credentialed, so to speak, and we then became really much more eligible for funding, especially with the Office on Aging. I believe we got our first contract maybe 2 years after I got there. We all went to school, we all got trained, we all got certified, and that kind of opened some new doors of opportunity. I think the other big piece is I think our motto has been whatever we do has to go to help promote brain health for seniors. So everything we kind of do absolutely does that, whether it's exercise or nutrition education or healthy tips on staying healthy, and all of our lunch and learn presenters and stuff like that. Everything we do really encourages people to stay healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's been the journey. I mean, it's been an interesting 10 years, but it's time for a new chapter.
Well, thank you for that, Pat. You know what? That's a lot of components that got put into place during your tenure. So I think on myself and the rest of the board, which will have the opportunity to say thank you for all of that, because SCAN is such a fabulous service today because of all the people that have put into it to make it as viable as it is. So thank all of you. We want to move on a little bit here to hear, how did SCAN really evolve in 1988? And Andrea, our longest employee right now, why don't you tell our viewers so they can know the history?
Well, SCAN actually, I guess we'll use the word, was founded in 1988. And John Warnett, who previously worked for, what was it, the Monmouth County Office on Aging, I believe.
Correct.
And it was, yeah. And he got together with, he had this idea for, I'll call it a non-traditional senior center. And of course, we're located in a mall, which is non-traditional. So he got together with 8 sponsors who each put up $25,000. And that was the genesis. And among those sponsors, I can't recall all of them, but Monmouth Medical Center, still with us. New Jersey Natural Gas, still with us. So that is, very cool. Since our inception, they've been with us. So that's really how it started. And it was pretty much run by volunteers. There wasn't a lot of money involved. There was certainly zero technology. I wasn't there, but I'm thinking a lot of paper.
Right, no, a lot of paper.
There were always classes, and everything was free. I guess that initial, endowment kind of covered things, and there were no fees involved. It was a very different SCAN. But over time, obviously the free model is not always sustainable, even for SCAN.
Right.
And so over time, it continued really just offering classes, within the mall. And every so often there was an exercise class or even a line dancing class that happened in an outside venue, Seabrook being one of them. And so there were some fees involved, but it was still very, very small, very low key. And then I think technology with seniors became more of an issue, because when I arrived at SCAN 20 years ago, it was just really beginning to change at that point. It was, we were charging fees. We still had a lot of volunteer instructors, a lot of office volunteers, still a lot of paper and pencil. But technology became a big issue. And so they were looking for people to teach technology to seniors. And that was a big deal. That was a big change at that point. But it just kept growing and growing as technology grew. And like Pat said, we became certified in certain areas. We found ourselves going more and more into the community, which we still do. And SCAN, it's totally not the same SCAN that it was even when I first started.
It certainly is not. And that's probably one of the greatest accomplishments, because we've grown, and with growth comes those changes. So that just goes to show you how much accomplishments we have had. I want to take a quick break at this point, because when we come back, we want to talk about what SCAN's greatest accomplishments have been and how we're going to look forward to the future of SCAN as it evolves stronger than ever. So we'll be right back in just a minute on Welcome to SCAN.
Take it from me, living with diabetes is no easy task, but I learned how to manage my health condition, and so can you. The Diabetes Self-Management Program is a 6-week self-management workshop created by Stanford University. The program provides you with proven strategies to manage your diabetes and reclaim your life. You will join an interactive and mutually supportive workshop whose success builds confidence to effectively manage your diabetes and allows you to maintain an active lifestyle. See how proper nutrition, exercise, and medication management help you increase your energy, manage side effects, and keep you feeling in control. You will not only receive a copy of this book, but you will get guidance and support from others like you living with diabetes.
The Diabetes Self-Management Workshop meets once a week for 6 weeks. This innovative workshop is offered to all Monmouth County residents. Call the number on your screen to register or get additional information at scannj.org.
Welcome back to Welcome to SCAN. I am here with the staff of SCAN, and we've just reviewed the SCAN history, and we're going to go into SCAN's greatest accomplishments over the last 10 years under Pat Bohse's direction. And we're going to start with Mary Beth, who's going to tell us about our members, because they're really what makes us go, right, Mary Beth?
Our membership is our core of our foundation and you know, who we're working for. Our membership has certainly grown over the years. We have Monmouth County was our home base, and it expanded into Ocean County with our satellite location at St. Andrew's Church in Toms River. We certainly saw our membership expand during this past year when we went to virtual programming. We were able to enter some different counties and even just touch people who couldn't get to the mall in the past and take our classes. So that really was a wonderful thing to see, that people were so happy to have access to our programming who weren't able to get to us before because they maybe had mobility issues, transportation, just too far to travel. So it really was a wonderful thing.
Then they got to join in our community, which was, you know, that was one blessing out of all of this over the last year.
Yes. And, you know, our mission is to fight isolation. So many people met new people over Zoom calls and classes. Right. And, you know, you wouldn't think you'd meet new people. You think you have to be in person, and that certainly wasn't the case. So it was a wonderful thing to witness.
That it really was. And then we have other programs. Pat, do you want to jump in here and tell us about our sponsors and our Benefits Enrollment Center?
Sure. Some of the other programs that we do, again, we have language classes, art classes. We have exercise classes, Tai Chi, yoga, chair yoga. I think we have probably anywhere from 15 to 20 classes a semester.
Can I just add in there, we also have the fencing, which was the most amazing things for me to watch.
Yeah, we have 3 13-week semesters every year, and Mary Beth and Andrea are in charge of pulling together those classes and diversifying our offerings and making sure that the program gets out. We do publish and print our catalog. It's also on our websites, but it's really very robust, needless to say. We have a lot of one and dones, meaning a special event and then it's over. But one of our signature programs that we've built was called SAT, Successful Aging and Technology. And Andrea has been the program director of that. Andrea, do you want to just say a couple of things?
Yeah, you know, Pat, we built it. We absolutely built it.
From the ground up.
Yeah, we were exposed to an opportunity, and from that opportunity, I'll say Pat really saw the potential, and we decided to create our own version, which we call Successful Aging and Technology. And this program enabled us to go into the community again, and for limited income folks, we were able to give them a beautiful Android tablet at no charge, and 10 weeks of technology instruction, as well as healthy aging and, you know, all that health and wellness stuff that went with it. And I have to say, it was one of the most awesome programs that we've ever done. I think it had enormous impact on the people that participated. We really touched a lot of people, and it really showed that SCAN is at the forefront of technology in bringing it to people. So
I think one of the things, Andrea, for that was the greatest. I mean, those people were so appreciative that you taught, and the skill and ability that you gave them to communicate with grandchildren, with family members. I mean, it was life-changing.
It was transformational. And that's a word a lot of them would use, not just me. But for many of these folks, they, in their wildest dreams, they would never have access to this technology to be able to purchase it. Or some people actually had been given one, but they didn't have a clue what to do with it. So I feel like that's part of what SCAN does. We change lives, we empower people. And this is one of the most significant ways that we've done that.
Yeah, and the good news, though, is that we're going virtual with SAT. For our first time, we're going to be conducting 8 classes virtually in the near future with, again, limited income seniors to see if this works virtually and not just in person. So we're excited about that.
That's wonderful. Wonderful information and things. And SCAN offers so many other things besides our virtual online BEC. Pat, do you want to talk a little bit about our community partners and our board of directors?
Absolutely. We couldn't do anything that we do without them. I mean, our budget's not huge. It's about $400,000 a year. We have corporate sponsors who make up maybe a third of our budget, and they've been fabulous. I mean, not only providing some income that we use, which is unrestricted dollars, which is very important, but also they participate in a lot of our programming and bring specialists and experts to our table, or should I say to our Zoom screen.
Right.
And we couldn't do what we do without them. So I have great respect for them and admiration because they're really, really important. We have grants that make up maybe another third of our programs. And then the last third really is our fundraising events or special events and the board's contribution to our programs. Again, like I said before, our board is growing, they're diversified. They are really looking at the new strategic plan very closely and working in committees and accomplishing a lot more things now that they have their marching orders, so to speak, because the plan needs to be come alive and we need to accomplish some stuff. The only other thing I would like to add is the Benefit Enrollment Center, which is one of our newer programs. We've had it for about 2 years. And it came about because we kept hearing from seniors that they were living on $15,000 or less a year. And I have no idea how anyone in Monmouth County can do that. And they were eligible for so many other programs, but didn't know about them. Or if they went to apply for them, they were not treated in some cases very respectfully. So we started the program. We were able to get funding from the National Council on Aging, who has become a really good partner of ours. And I think that will be a core program going forward, whether I'm here or not, because the need is so huge.
Absolutely. You know, Pat, when you talk about these grants during the Benefits Enrollment Center, I just want to give a shout out to Yvonne there, because, you know, she's behind the scenes a lot. And that's such an essential part, is getting those grants for SCAN that we so desperately need.
Yep, and she keeps us honest. I mean, she absolutely questions me regularly about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and when we're doing it. But she absolutely provides all of the backup and documentation that all of our funders expect, and also give us high marks because we're always on time with reports and they're always accurate. So again, kudos to Yvonne.
Very good. So those are a lot of components that we just reviewed: our SCAN history, our greatest accomplishments. I know we haven't included all those accomplishments. Those were the highlights of our accomplishments, because from my perspective as a board member, I see and know a lot more that's going on in SCAN than just that. And that's an opportunity for our seniors out in the community to come and join and find out more about SCAN. With all that being said, that we just gave a little snapshot of our organization, I want to find out from all of you, what is next for SCAN? Because it's been a whirlwind year, and I know we have lots of things in the planning stages. So Andrea, would you like to tell us off the top of the head, because you're planning?
So what's next for SCAN? And you know what? Write this in pencil, because who really knows what will happen? The world keeps changing, and so SCAN has to change with it. So of course, our goal is for the fall semester to resume in-person classes, and we look forward to that. Now, another goal is to just continue to listen to what our members say, and Mary Beth has been really excellent about sending out a few surveys. So in listening to members, some people simply don't want to come back. They love the virtual so much. So we're committed to doing both. We will always have to have a virtual component. People want it, and I get it. It makes a lot of sense. But we'll always listen to what our members have to say, and hopefully we can act accordingly. Our goal, of course, is still to get more and more technology in the hands of seniors. And so we have to be a strong advocate for that, because there's lots of reasons why seniors don't have technology. It's not just about money, but some people just don't have access. Some people don't even know what they're missing. And we really want to bring more technology out to folks who they should have it. I think the pandemic really, that really brought that to the forefront. If you didn't have technology, you definitely were missing out. We don't want that to ever happen again. And of course, SCAN wants to remain a trusted resource for seniors in Monmouth and Ocean County. We want you to be able to look to us and know that when we tell you, we speak from the heart, and if we have your best interests. And you know, we say at the end of our SCAN FYI show, by the way, another big accomplishment, we always say, if it's important to you, it's important to us. And we mean that.
I really like that tagline. And Andrea, why don't you just give a shout out, because we have our live audience viewers here. If they are not already tuned into SCAN FYI.
Okay, well, more technology. So SCAN FYI, we started it during the pandemic as a way to engage with our members, because we couldn't see you in person. Mary Beth and I are the co-hosts. Shout out to my co-host. And every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, we have a video segment on SCAN's Facebook page. It's just been really so well received, and we appreciate that.
And you have different visitors on every time that
we have a guest every
information.
week. Yep.
Great information. Well, our time here today has flown by so quickly, and I just want to give a thank you to all of you for contributing to the success of SCAN, especially over the last year. And to Pat Bohse, we can only be so fortunate to have you continue to work alongside of us and to find somebody that has the passion that you have always put into SCAN.
So
Why don't you close out for us before we have to let our viewers go?
I just really want to say thank you to all of you for this wonderful chapter in my life.
Thank you, Pat. And may you continue to share all of your knowledge with us at SCAN. It's been a wonderful 10 years of growth and expansion, and the last year has been probably the biggest growth for everyone involved in SCAN. And you all succeeded, which is the greatest gift that all of our members received. So until next time, I want to thank all of our viewers for watching. Welcome to SCAN and having a review of the last 10 years under the direction and guidance of Pat Bohse, our executive director, who will be retiring. Next time, if you have any other ideas you would like us to feature on this show of Welcome to SCAN, please do contact us and let us know. And please don't forget to watch Mary Beth and Andrea's FYI. Until next time.